Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mildra, and I will be your gaming monk for the evening. So, I think it's time for a little reflection. Now that the month of Megaten, month and a half more like, has passed. I will note that the reason I did it like this was to account for the fact that both the official translation of Tokyo Conception and the fan translation of Devil City Tokyo 2000X, hereafter referred to as SMTX, both released in the same week. Given the shared source material they have, and other connections as well, it was only natural to cover them both. I think one of the first things to make clear is that neither is going to be a generic SMT RPG, the way that some games in the West have a generic look at certain genres. Tokyo Conception is exclusively focused on emulating Nocturne, and SMTX is focused on 1, 2, and a little bit of If. Consequently, if you wanted to adapt more recent SMT entries, I don't think this would be the game for you unless you're fine with doing some extensive homebrewing. This applies especially for people who wanted to use this to do Persona. If you want to do Persona in TTRPG form, I think you'd be better served with something like Grimoire of Heart or Void Heart Symphony. That said, of the two, I think Tokyo Conception is the easier one to start out with. It's an archetype system, even though it calls it classes, that's easier to work around, and doubly so when it comes to how it handles demons in various templates. Fusion is the crunchiest it gets, but that crunchiest was inevitable when you consider all the background math you have to do when doing fusion in the video games. That said, playing as humans is a bit of a glass ceiling. Their selling point of being able to use equipment is hampered by the low amount of options that humans have regarding equipment, especially when compared to all the different magatama that fiends have, or all the different skills that everybody has. I suppose in that regard it's no surprise that someone was attempting to homebrew the sword fusion mechanic to even that out. SMT doesn't have this problem given its extensive class system and a staggering variety of equipment. However, there's also a lot more options regarding fusion, negotiation, and, well, everything. In fact, if you looked at one as the basic rules and the other as the advanced rules, you wouldn't be too far off. Doubly so since neither has a clear and obvious advantage over the other in terms of what I'd personally recommend. And if you want details on both, I do recommend looking at both of the playlists that we've covered for both games. Now again, both are good books, it's just that they have their ups and downs, and neither one has a clear advantage. Personally, I could see myself running SMTX, but that's due to my own preferences more than anything else. For people getting into things, I'd suggest Tokyo Conception and then maybe go into SMTX. Of course, I'd still say to read both to get ideas, and the more eyes on this wonderful world of Japanese tabletop, the better. Stay frosty!
In nomine Christi,